Tuesday and it's snowing. Yeah, hard.
I'm not happy.
I know, 10 centimeters likely overnight last night, and that was a little bit of a surprise this morning. And then another 10 to 15 today.
That's the part I don't really like. I really don't like that
it's
part.
It's so early. Doesn't it seem early?
Oh,
like I don't have winter tires on
I don't have my tires on either yet.
I need an oil change.
At least
the shrubs aren't covered.
Well, you said Jim wrapped the globe ones.
Yeah, he wrapped some of the globe ones.
I haven't wrapped any of them.
Really?
Well, I don't know. And you said you think it's going to stay.
Yeah, it's going to stay.
I'm counting on the sun coming out at some point in the next...
No.
Luann,
it's going to warm up, but there's a lot of snow out there. There's a ton of snow.
I screwed up again. I don't like it.
I know. But you know what? I came in this morning and our plow guy was in our parking lot, and I was like...
What do you mean in your parking lot?
In our parking lot. Here at work.
Oh, I thought you meant you and Jim had a parking lot. I'm like, oh, in your manse?
No. Yeah, so and I was here. That's why I don't know where to park.
I got your spot to.
Yeah,
what the heck is that?
Like, look at that.
Well, I know I drove in it.
Building.
Visibility was horrific this morning driving in.
And the winds aren't helping much at all either, so you have to be really careful about snow squalls this morning.
Here I am yesterday on the show going, I love Christmas. And then this morning I'm like, I don't like this weather.
Yeah. Can it not be Christmas with, like, say, a steady 70 degrees?
Here's the thing. Right? It's just, if it snowed a little bit at a time, just every once in a while, just a little bit. Why is it going to come and dump?
Christmas Eve, it can snow. It's got to melt by Boxing Day. What's so hard about that? Why don't I understand?
Is that too much to ask?
Mother Nature, really. I thought you and I were like this, but except old man Winters, he's pretty tough. He's like, strong.
Did you used to do the weather professionally?
I did.
Did you say stuff like that?
I did.
Old man Winter's tough, and he's strong, so...
So you best beware. Don't forget to put some middies on your kitty's hands. That's how I said it.
I was a news person a very long time. You think you're a news person for 33 years.
No. Adorable.
I was a news person back in the day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is October the 29th, 1972. It's the Sunday Star. This was the newspaper that I put out in my household. I would put out a weekly newspaper, and then I would charge my family 5 cents to buy it from me. And I also, this was at the time, this was
72, how old were you? Because this is adorable.
I was 9. I turned 10 7 days after this came out.
Like, who thinks of
8
that,
days.
Right?
I had a newspaper, the Sunday Star. I typed it up in my basement.
And it says Vote Murphy at the bottom.
Vote Murphy. Oh, this was a big election. Cyril Symes, Lulu Kenda, and my dad running against each other.
Yeah.
Now, even back then, though, I wasn't very good at, I tried to be a reporter, but I wasn't good at sports, Luann. All it says here is that on Monday, October the 23rd, the West team beat the North team by the score of 36-19. They played the volleyball game in the auditorium today at 12:45. Didn't follow sports well. But if you wanted to know about my dog having a tumor and dipping, what do you call those papers?
Those
into her urine, I talked all about that.
Litmus paper. He does. He talks about how his dog has a tumor, and they have to stick the litmus paper.
We did it, and it turned black.
Pee hole.
Yeah, they gave some pills. We have to wrap in meat and give it to her 3 times a day.
And if it turned dark purple, that means there was an infection. And Tim wrote, we did so, and it turned so dark it looked black.
It was, yes. And she did have a tumor, and it said here she might have a false pregnancy and take all she has to her bed and make a nest out of her blanket, and she would also feel the pains. The trouble she has burns the inside of her. And you know what she did? She did nest, and Dusty the corgi, she had a tumor. Yes. And
I can't believe, look at you on this school bus.
I drew a school bus because were we going to sing? Oh, we went on a field trip, so I drew the bus.
Oh yeah, and then some musical notes too.
Yes, because we were singing on the bus. Now, here's the big news, though. On Friday, October the 27th, Paul Davey has been coming over on weekends lately to join Mark Baisley and myself in games of ping pong. We so far have hit the ball back and forth to each other 30 times.
30 times.
Big news, ladies and gentlemen. Finally,
big news.
I had to explain why last week's edition was late. I called myself the editor, publisher, manager, Timothy Robert Luffy.
Then he was full of himself.
Make room in your heart, love, cooperate, give news.
Give news.
So I said, notice, last week's subscription was late as it was because it wasn't made fast enough. Also, there wasn't enough news and the machine broke. Notice, the author, manager, publisher will have a birthday in 8 days.
I love that.
I did this for a lot.
That is such a telling piece of history, though, right?
I wrote a newspaper.
Be generous, be loving, and do the news.
Cooperate.
Right?
I go to my
That's
sisters.
That's what we do.
When you go to collegiate, you have to come back and tell me what the sports teams played, and I made my sisters report back from collegiate.
They were reporters, too.
They were my field reporters, but I still charged them 5 cents to buy the paper and read their stories back.
Did you pay them? What?
Why do you know? Don't be ridiculous.
You're a shyster.
Yeah, I know. I was. Well, how do you think Rupert Murdoch made it big?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Just somebody else who made it.
Big.
Stan Lee. Well, what a sad day yesterday.
What?
When he died.
Okay, it's sad. But let's face facts. The man was 95 years old. He had a fantastic life.
He certainly did.
Oh, that's a lot of pictures flashing by.
I was reading this morning about his.
Oh, there he is.
One of his dream series was to be called
so cool.
The Chosen. And he wanted it to be based in Canada, and it to be based on an Indigenous police officer who leaves his reserve in Canada to go to Toronto to be a police officer. And then his father dies and he returns to the reserve. And because he is next in line to be a shaman, he discovers that he has powers from his ancestors. And the new connection with his heritage would be highlighted, of course. There would be no flying. He would not be a flying superhero, but he could see things a few seconds before they actually happened. And he asked somebody to borrow an iPad, went to Global, went to CTV, went to CBC back in the day and pitched this idea to them. And they all said that if there wasn't a U.S. co-sponsor of some sort, that they wouldn't take the chance on it.
Oh my gosh, we could have had Canadian history with an Indigenous superhero created by Stan Lee.
And he said he wanted to have it done before he passed away. So kind of a
shame on you, Global and CBC and all you people who said no to Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Oh my.
He's Stan Lee.
If it doesn't have an American contingent, it won't.
Right?
Makes me
I guess they were afraid.
Spider-Man, X-Men, the Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man, the Fantastic Four. That's kind of a cool story I read. He was ready to give up. He thought that there was no future in comic books anymore. That he was done. He was getting ready to retire, and his wife said, "Come on, you know what? You've got stuff in you that you think is that your bosses, whatever, at Marvel Comics tell you is too out there. To heck with them. Do what you want to do. Create those way out characters. And if they fire you, big deal. It's the end of your career. But give it a shot." And that's where the Fantastic Four came from.
Really?
He went ahead and created them despite what the higher up said and his wife said. Do what you want to do, Stan.
Always
and he
listen
did.
to your wife, Jim. Jim and I actually watched Black Panther on the weekend.
Did you?
And Stan Lee, we saw his cameo, of course, in it. And I had no idea. Jim said, "Oh, there's the guy who created it. This is Stan Lee." And I said, "Oh my gosh." And then the next day
He had a very signature look, Stan.
Yes.
With the glasses and everything.
Very, very
there was another comic strip. Al Cap. Remember Al Cap?
Al Cap. My goodness. You're old, eh?
Well, I'm not as old. It was 19. Look at this now. 1937. Lil Abner.
My gosh, I remember that.
The first Sadie Hawkins Day.
And that's Daisy, isn't that
that's
Daisy?
Chasing Lil Abner.
She was a real Guidon, that one. She was.
Guidon. What's that?
Guidon. A little bit of a slaw. Yeah. She was a Guidon. She was.
I think she was.
Daisy was a Guidon, I'm telling you.
She
dressed provocatively, and she lived up to her reputation. I'm just saying.
So the mayor of Dogpatch had a daughter. I'm not going there. The mayor of Dogpatch had a daughter, and in the comic, and she wasn't very attractive, unfortunately, and he couldn't get her married off. So the mayor of Dogpatch created what's called Sadie Hawkins Day, where all the single men. It was a race. It was So all the single men would get a little head start, and then all the single girls would chase after the men. And if they caught the men, the men had to marry the girl who caught them. That was
so Ugly Face got to come out of the woodwork for a minute.
It might not always be ugly.
Go on a date.
It might have been somebody who was just really annoying. Can you imagine that, Luann? So
I can't.
No.
For the life of me.
Somebody with a big mouth might have to. So anyway, that was Sadie, and we used to have.
I know, I hated those.
Sadie Hawkins dances. You probably don't do that anymore, do you, kids? Where the girls, you'd all get dressed up as the characters, and the girls would put freckles on their nose, and they'd wear the little tops tied and the shorts and stuff.
Oh, you guys went.
Oh no, we did it all out, and then we had to dress in our overalls and stuff, and
Stop it!
And we decorate the whole thing with hay and stuff. And
I never even knew what Sadie Hawkins was.
Sadie Hawkins dances in high school. They don't even have dances anymore, do they?
The little vents on the lockers in high school. I remember sticking a note inside and pushing it through because I was too shy to ask this boy that
To
I
the
really
dance,
liked.
because the girls had to, you couldn't go to the Sadie Hawkins
Yeah.
dance unless a girl invited you.
Right.
I never went.
I didn't either. I think the guy blew his locker up when he saw the note.
Did you hear about the UFOs?
What?
Oh, this is getting freaky. Remember the cigar one that looked like a rock? Did you see that in the
Yes.
news? Okay, there was a cigar-shaped rock thing that they said, oh, this could have been a UFO. Okay. Now, over the coast of over Ireland, a commercial jet, Virgin Flight 46, and British Airways flight from Montreal. 2 different commercial airliners saw the same thing.
They're drinkers in Ireland, though.
No, but these are from Montreal. So British Airways and Virgin.
Wow.
They said this thing came up on their left-hand side, incredibly high speed, very bright, and then rapidly veered to the north. And then disappeared. And there was no testing going on. They both called in and said, is there any kind of military testing going on? Both these pilots. And they went, no exercise is going on. Well, we just saw something. And then when you put that together with the cigar-shaped thing. And
when was this?
Like yesterday, 2 days ago.
Oh my
Here's what
gosh.
I'm thinking. You know what I'm thinking?
What do you think?
Have you heard about all the pollution that's like, there's such a warning going on in India right now.
Yeah.
The smog is so bad, you can't even see. Like, it looks like fog, but it's actual pollution. And they're saying it could kill people.
Yeah.
On top of that, you got the forest fires.
Right.
And all this weather stuff. Imagine being in outer space and looking down on the planet and seeing all this stuff coming. Maybe they're coming to check out what's going on Earth. Are they on fire? Is the whole planet
They're destroying themselves.
I think that's what it is.
Your guests have arrived.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, they
Festival
got
of
here through
Trees
the
are
snow.
here.
Yeah.
Thanks for
That's
making
a
it,
huge
ladies.
event.
The Lung Association. And they put on the
Every year.
Festival of Trees every year, and they're going to talk to us about what's going on just down at the machine shop this year.
Awesome. It's
I
beautiful.
know. Then Jeff Arbus is coming in and talking with Riley Smith, our reporter and anchor. Riley, as we know, traveled to Poland, and she went to, I forget where else, she'll tell us.
Auschwitz.
But she did travel to Auschwitz, and since she's come back, she's met up with Jeff, who's a leader in the Jewish community here in Sault Ste. Marie, and she just wants to share some of the things that she's thought about and some of the experience that she's had, and talk a little about what's going on in the political climate today.
She gets very impassioned when she talks
And
about
Jeff
it.
is
Yeah, it's
a
awesome.
really super nice,
Yeah.
really wise
Okay,
man.
we have to go now.
Okay, we have to go to break.
Okay, so you throw it to commercial break.
Ladies
as I
and gentlemen,
started.
please stay with us as we celebrate snow with Mornings with Luann and Tim on ONNtv.
Ho, ho, ho.
I'm so happy that you two braved the snow and made it up here, and I know you're crazy busy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my friend Grace Briglio from the Lung Association, and my other friend Lene Fragamini from Arthur Funeral Home, Barton and Ketley Chapel. You guys donate your time to work on the Festival of Trees?
Absolutely.
Renee does.
Lene, no, I know. This is part of your job.
My job. Renee
But Lene
donates a
volunteers
lot of
her time.
Yes.
How long? So, Festival of Trees, for those of you who don't know, let's just give it a brief description.
Right.
How long has it been around? Do we know? How many years?
20 years. This
Come
is
on.
20th anniversary.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had no
it's a-
idea. So 20 years. How long have you been involved?
20 years.
You've been really helping for 20 years.
Yeah.
How long have you been with the Lung Association now?
19 years.
Grace, I can't believe it's been that long. Like, I remember when you got the position. Have I been around that long? I guess I have.
No, we were 12.
I know, we were in high school,
we were in high
remember?
school,
Okay, so it's been going on for 20 years, but it's really morphed, hasn't it? Like, and it's grown.
It gets bigger and bigger every year. So
We
not
have.
typical charitable organizations run events that, peter out usually after 5 years. This one just keeps getting bigger every year.
I remember you moved around a bit because you've had to keep expanding.
Yes.
I remember when you were at the Windsor Park one time.
20 trees there.
20 trees. I was there with Root River. Remember that? We
Yes.
decorated with the golf balls and
Yes.
stuff. So the concept, let's talk about the concept. So local businesses.
So local businesses are sponsoring trees. They pay to sponsor them, and we set up the room, get them all situated with a spot and a tree. Then they come in and decorate, and they try and take it over the top every year. They're trying to push that envelope to really make theirs stand
You
out.
have to see the trees this year.
Really?
Incredible.
How
Incredible.
many do you have this year?
85.
No, you do not. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Congratulations!
No, you should
That's
see
so
the-
exciting.
It is.
Absolutely.
When I invited them on the show, I was, oh my gosh, Tim, we'd love to come, but we're so crazy busy because people keep showing up because you have to be there when they arrive, and it all happens so quickly, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
How many volunteers do you have? Do you know even how many are involved in this?
We have over 100
I'm getting goosebumps.
from start to end.
Yeah.
Like, that is incredible. That's
Dedicated volunteers.
That's our city,
that
isn't
keep
it?
coming back.
Year over year, and they're amazing. Can't do that event without the volunteers being there.
Not at all.
And so now, the Lung Association, you raise, because you charge for people to come, right?
Yes.
So the people who want to put the trees in, they pay like a registration fee to get the spot and stuff,
Sponsorship fee.
sponsorship,
They get-
because it's promotion for their companies
Yes.
or their businesses or their charities even, I guess. Do you
Yeah,
have
we
any
have
other
about
charities?
8,000 people coming through. For a day.
8,000
It's a 4-day event, so
It's amazing.
So like the machine shop this year,
yes.
is this the first year? No, second year.
Third.
Third, I'm sorry. See, I gotta get down there, all you guys. Third year at the machine shop. Do they have the bar open?
Yeah, they do.
Do they serve any snacky stuff?
Yes. Well, they
Oh,
have
they
two
got that-
restaurants. They have the
They do.
broiler.
They have that brand new
Gelato bar in
the
there.
gelato bar. Plus,
and the
there's
boiler
also the
room.
boiler room that makes the oven baked pizzas.
Absolutely.
And they got other sandwiches and stuff. You could come in and really make a. You could
Make
really
the
make a day
event
of
the
it.
day.
Because 85 trees.
And Santa's there,
You have a Santa
face painting.
for the kids.
kids, yes.
As if walking around looking at the trees isn't. Have you got face painting too?
Children's secret shop, the craft area.
What do you mean children's secret
so
shop?
they can come and shop for mom and dad for Christmas. There's a little shopping area where they go in and get their gift wrap gift to bring home to mom and dad for
You better
Christmas.
stop it right now, Elaine Fragamini. Who came up with that idea? It's just
Been there
It's
since
been there
the
for the,
beginning.
I had no idea. So,
And the company sponsor, Northern Dental Care sponsors the children's craft and the secret shop.
so they can make it. So wait, do
Craft.
they make a craft and make that the gift?
Well, no, they
no.
make a craft in the craft area, but then they can go purchase gifts in
So
the
me and a
secret
kid
shop.
can come down there with a little bit of money and go in and buy something.
And we
get-
wrap the gifts
you
and
wrap
everything.
To give to their parents. And does that money go to a charity too, or
To the Lung Association.
who
Everything's to
donates the
Lung
gifts for the
Association.
We purchase the gifts.
You purchase the gifts and then donate the money back. And then wait a minute. So how much to get in? Like to come into the Festival of Trees? Is there an
Family
admission?
pass is $12, yes.
That's it for the whole family?
Yeah.
$12 for the whole family? That's such a bargain. And then, are there any kind of draws or anything that go on? Or do the different trees have things?
We have 28 raffles.
I'm
of the
asking all the
trees.
right questions. aren't
28
I?
raffles of trees, and then the rest are all auctioned. So you can purchase a.
Oh, that's
you can
right. I
bid
forgot about that.
the
You can
auction.
purchase a
Yes.
tree. You can bid on a tree.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then you get a tree in your house that's already all decorated.
Pre-decorate, and companies spend a lot of money for their trees.
I know. I remember.
They-
There's trees, well, over 12, 15, 2,000, 3,000.
Dollars they've invested in
Absolutely.
decorating these trees.
Absolutely.
$3,000 on a tree, and you can win that and have it in your home.
And there's great people of like throwing furniture pieces in with what
There's
they're
a whole
doing,
thing,
and
yes.
You mean you get the tree
groceries
and
and
furniture?
gift
Yes.
cards and
Hanging on the tree.
there's sports games to go to, like NHL games with trees.
Yeah, we have a
and-
Toronto Maple Leaf tree.
Yeah.
With great tickets, autographed jersey. You got to see the setup that they did last night.
Absolutely, Pittsburgh tree. There's the Savoy's
Wine
diamond
tree.
tree.
Savoy's diamond tree.
yes.
There's wine tree. We did,
Luann, there's a wine tree. She'll be there.
we did a Christmas spirits tree.
What's that mean? I have to come and. You did for Arthur Funeral Home. I bet it's
Christmas
beautiful. Oh my
spirits,
gosh.
Absolutely. There's lots of great trees that are there, and great pieces that go with them, and the gift cards, but the energy on the people that are coming from these businesses to decorate them is absolutely incredible.
When is it going to be completely ready to open? When does it start?
Thursday.
This coming Thursday. It's 4 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
We open to the public at 7 Thursday.
7 p.m. Thursday night. That's
We
fun.
have the Take 5, 5 to 7. That's the sponsor event, 5 to 7.
You know what else it is? They're downtown on Queen Street.
Moonlight Magics.
Moonlight Magic. So you could go. Oh my God! How about that for a Christmas kicking off December?
Absolutely.
Is that the 1st of December too? Isn't it?
Yes, and also breakfast for Santa on Sunday
At the machine shop.
at Station Mall.
Station Mall, that's where,
They
'cause you
sponsor
wanna
that.
go. Oh, I want to go to that. Oh, 30 seconds. Oh, this is too much fun. Wait, I'm not done yet. And all the money, does the Lung Association money stay in our community?
Yes.
It does?
Yes,
What
we're
kind of-
developing programs. There's a lot of programs that we're developing, implementing for the spring. So
What-
might have to come back and talk to you about
We can
that.
come
Yeah.
back and talk about
Yes.
the programs. You know who else I'd like to get on? I've been trying to get, can you help me? I want to get Janet Allen on the show from Algoma Public Health. Would you come on with her and we'll talk about smoking cessation and stuff like that?
Because we have a program coming up for teenagers.
For teenagers.
Yes.
And they're vaping. They're getting rid of flavored vapes now. Did you know that?
Oh, are they?
They're getting rid. He says we have to go. Anyway, the Lung Association does amazing work here in our community, so support it. And not only that, have an amazing time at the Festival of the Trees, Thursday, December 1st through Sunday, December the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
No.
What?
November 15th to the 18th.
Oh, not to the what? What?
15th.
What's the date today?
15th to the 8th. It's the 13th today, Tim.
November the 15th. I'm so out of
To
it.
the 18th.
Thursday, November the 15th, Friday the 16th, Saturday the 17th, and Sunday the 18th at the Machine Shop. Starts at 7 o'clock Thursday night. Is it all day Saturday and Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
Ends at 4 o'clock
For
on
Sunday.
Sunday.
4 o'clock.
That's when all the draws and everything happen, right at 4 o'clock.
Is there somewhere we can go to get more information? Is there a place? Is there like a Facebook page or anything?
Absolutely.
What's it called?
The Lung Association Festival of Trees.
2018.
There you go. That's all you need to know, guys. You have to go back now, don't you, and wait for
do.
more people to arrive.
Yes.
We do.
Thanks for your time.
Thank
Lene
you.
Fragamini and Grace Briglio, Lung Association Festival of Trees. We'll be back with Luann after this. Don't go anywhere. Bye. Festival of Trees has a wine tree.
Oh, I'm in.
Told ya.
With full bottles?
Dunno, you have to go check it out.
I'm gonna.
85 trees this year, Luann.
Oh, that's
All
probably the most,
decorated. Yes.
That's
yes.
so good.
And actually, Grace did ask me to mention one thing. Well, a
Yes.
couple things actually. The major sponsor for the entire Festival of Trees is Oroco. Oroco,
Nice.
yes, we want to thank. They are really a community-minded business.
They are,
So
yes.
thanks to them for sponsoring the whole shebang. And also, she wanted to mention that the Lung Association has a tree. It's called the Memorial Tree.
Oh.
And anyone who passes away from a lung-related illness gets an angel. The Lung Association has an angel
that's
with their name
lovely.
on it. And it's hung on the tree. And she said a lot of people just come to the festival to go to the memorial tree and see the name of their loved one who died from a lung-associated illness.
That's lovely.
And that's the Lung Association does that as a tribute.
That's so lovely. My dad passed away from lung cancer.
Did he?
So in Espanola. So that
My
that
grandfather
would be
died
very
of lung
emotional.
cancer as
Is that
well.
right? Yeah. Boy, it's so far-reaching, isn't it? Good for them.
Yeah, so there you go.
Turning it beautiful for Christmas.
Honestly.
Absolutely. Hey, big day in New York.
Why, what
New York
happened?
City. El Chapo. He's going to trial today.
Oh, the guy, the drug
The
smuggler
drug
guy
guy
from...
who escaped for 1,400 years and then came back because he was bored. Not really, but apparently,
Can you imagine the security?
And the jurors each have their own security person.
If I were one of the jurors for El Chapo, I'd wear one of those things with the fake glasses and the mustache and the nose, because I would not. Because
And a big floppy hat.
that guy's scary.
Yeah. Yep.
He's
highest-ranking drug lord to ever be.
There he is. Look at him, and he's just like a.
He's like a little troll.
You'd never look at him twice on the street, would you?
No.
You'd never think he was responsible for
all
murdering
of those.
so many people.
Exactly. Hey, and one of the recounts or the continued counting in the state of Arizona, the Democrat took the state for the first time since 1976.
Wasn't that the one that Jeff Flake held? Wasn't Jeff Flake Arizona?
Yes.
And he had announced that he wasn't going to run again.
Yeah.
And then
so
Democrat
it was
took it.
Kirsten Sinema, congratulations to her, and over Martha McSally, who was the Republican. So first time since 1976. The times they are a-changing.
She's bisexual.
Is she? Oh, I didn't
The
realize.
times are really a-changing.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot of diversity going on there.
Yeah.
Now, what's going on in Florida is so contentious right now.
Oh
Again.
my word! It's to the point now where they're still doing it electronically, the recount, and if it's within a certain amount, they're going to have to do it by hand. And I want to know why it's always Florida. The hanging thing.
The chits,
Chads.
Chads, the hanging Chads, the hanging Chads. That was
were
Bush.
in Florida.
Where they
But,
announced-
what's the
yeah.
problem with Florida?
I don't know.
It's like write an X. I don't know.
Well, I think a huge part of it is that their machines are completely
Yeah.
outdated, and they've known this. It's not like it's a big surprise. They have outdated machines and things that don't work. And
You know, I was watching the news last night, and I said
Good
to
for
Jim,
you. You should do
I said, you know, this is the most powerful, biggest country in the world. People are dying from forest fires. Whole cities are getting wiped out, and they can't run an election. I don't understand that. I don't understand. California, this monster of a presence of a country, and people are dying from forest fires. I know it's extreme and it's radical and it's awful, and that's kind of my point. Throw some water on the thing.
did you see
what's-
have you seen any of the? I saw it last night. It was
It's
very disturbing.
horrible.
The video from inside the car.
It looks like a war zone.
You wonder why.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the pictures, you see these deserted cars on the roadway, right? Just left there.
Yeah.
Because people are trying to escape and they're not realizing. And then you see
They're
the
in
video
it.
that they're just they're driving and they
Yeah,
can't
it's-
get out. It's just
yeah.
it's getting and they're driving along thinking it's going to get better.
Yeah.
We're going to get through this bit of flame and it
Yeah.
will come out. They don't come out. It's like it just keeps getting worse and worse. And finally, they end up fleeing on foot, running
Yes.
through fires. Unbelievable.
The count now is up to 41.
Oh, and how many
People who
missing?
Passed away still. Over 100 people.
I think it's over 200 missing.
Yeah. It's a
Unreal.
shame. It's our thoughts
Oh,
are
boy, oh,
with
boy.
all our friends in California, of course, and in Florida too, because they got to be frustrated. Man,
Is
you
there
tell
any-
me to come out and vote. It's so important, but why does it take you so long to count me? I don't know.
We're going to the news next. Do you have any good news to report when you come back?
None whatsoever.
Oh,
More
dear.
snow.
Well, hang in there because
Yeah.
the news is next, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep. Right after we're done, the news is next. So please stay with us. Mornings with Luann and Tim on TV. Right back.
Oh, I had to wake up so early today, Luann. I mean, I know you
Oh,
had to.
wah, wah.
No, but you know what day it is?
What?
Well, it's the day that my house gets cleaned.
So you have to clean your house.
I had to clean my house. Before.
Especially because his mother-in-law cleans his house.
I had to clean.
So he
I
has
know
to clean
for
before.
Carmen, so I had to clean the kitchen because I had dishes in the sink and I hadn't unloaded the dishwasher because yesterday was a very busy day, so I had to wake up extra early this morning to empty my dishwasher and then empty my sink out. And
You need to learn time management, young man.
you're right about that.
Seriously.
Help me out.
That never happens to me. I never ever have dishes in my sink. Every day.
And you never double book yourself either. Oh, I've seen you running out the door. I gotta get my nails done and I gotta do this and I gotta
Yeah,
do that.
I gotta.
Yeah.
Everybody starts talking about I gotta's, you know?
I was gonna talk about Neil Young. Ooh. Neil Young's house got burnt down
Maybe
in
you should have stayed
California.
in Canada, Neil.
So to stay in Canada, he's mad at President Trump. He said that he's not fit to be a leader and he's a climate change denier. No, you better watch it. When Neil Young gets mad at you, it could be like Barbra Streisand already wrote a song about you, Donald Trump. Now Neil Young could do the same
Yes,
thing.
could do absolutely the same thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of the fires in California,
Yeah.
people losing their homes, Ellen on her show
DeGeneres?
yesterday announced that Walmart is donating $100,000 to the California
Wow.
firefighters and the situation down there. Apparently there's lots of clothing and supplies coming in. It's difficult though because there's not a lot of people who are available to distribute it. So you see people like actually opening bags that
Where'd
are
you go?
just strewn everywhere. And
Where did you go? Where do you go?
yeah,
Do you go to
where
a
do you go
hotel?
stay?
What do you,
Yeah.
How do you
Right?
access all your stuff? I mean,
Yeah.
it's bad enough when you lose your wallet. You lose your whole house, all your
Well, Martin
everything.
Sheen's kids didn't know if he was okay or not because,
That's
of course, the signals are spotty at the very best. And they talked about how they didn't know if he was okay or not, him and their mom.
Oh.
So finally, he went on television because he was being interviewed and said, yeah, we're good.
I don't know, man.
But he was staying at a hotel till they were told that they were able to
What
go
if you
back.
can't afford a hotel? Like what? I don't
Yeah, right?
understand. Of course.
Well, the Red Cross is there.
Oh, of course they are.
Right. Yeah. Thank
Oh, my
goodness.
goodness.
They are always there.
So are the firefighters. Oh,
Yes.
They talk about
they
trauma.
must be exhausted.
Hey,
yeah.
speaking of trauma, PTSD, right? Which a lot of us think PTSD, we think of like veterans.
Veterans.
But that can have PTSD can happen if you're in an abusive relationship.
Sure.
It can happen if you've been assaulted. It can happen with witnessing
A fire.
witnessing something
Sure.
traumatic, right? So there's this new therapy, and I don't know, it kind of freaks me out. It's virtual. They're using virtual reality to treat PTSD.
Oh.
So you put the goggles on,
Right.
and you're in a licensed psychiatrist office, whatever, like the person who's treated to do this, and they take you through scenarios to try to get to your trauma and help you work through it.
Oh my gosh. You have to go back and do it all
I
over
don't know, they
again.
do. I guess they kind of just they ease you into some triggers and stuff, and then make you feel like it's okay, you're safe, nothing can happen to you.
Wow.
And then they talk about how they videotape you, they record you, and
Right.
they get your reactions to what you're experiencing, so that you can go back and work with them and say, at this point, this is how you reacted, and here we need to talk to you about how
this is where you take a deep breath.
this is how you work through this stuff.
Wow.
I would think that you got to be in good hands to do that kind of stuff.
Boy, you gotta trust,
Virtual
right?
reality to treat PTSD.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure it's not the first ailment that has been treated that way.
Oh no, I'm sure there's other
Right.
things that,
But
Ooh.
was it called regressive therapy?
Oh, when they take you back, like they did to Sally Field and
Yes.
hold your water,
when
Sybil.
hold your water. Yeah, no, not good. Not good. I'll say it. You thought it, I said it. Thank you very much for staying with us. Who's coming up?
Jeff Arbus and our very own Riley Smith
Yay.
to talk about what's going on in the world today. Is history repeating itself? All right, so stay with it. That's coming up on Morning with Luann and Tim.
Right after this.
It is a pleasure to welcome to the morning show Riley Smith. You were just
here
here last
before?
week,
Yeah.
co-hosting with me, Jeff Arbus.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
Jeff. Nice to
Thanks.
see you again. A friend of mine from many years ago, still today. And we're here to talk a little bit about what Riley has experienced in her travels, things you've learned, and how you brought some stuff that really matters to you. You brought it home to Sault Ste. Marie, and you're continuing to focus on it with the assistance of some new friends.
Yes,
Let's talk a little bit about it. You traveled where?
So this summer I went to Poland and the Czech Republic.
Okay.
So a big focal point of my trip was to visit Auschwitz and Birkenau, the concentration camps in just outside of Warsaw.
You studied history. It's
Outside
a
of Krakow,
passion
not
of yours,
Warsaw.
right? History is a passion of yours.
Yes.
You studied history at university.
So I did a double major in history and political science. So
Okay.
I've always wanted, like I travel a lot, and I've always wanted to go to Poland and experience, that element of, because World War I, World War II, the Holocaust, that's the time frame that really sticks out to me. So I knew that I needed to go there. So I kind of planned my whole trip around seeing Auschwitz. So it was like everything else wherever it fit. It's something I kind of had put on the back burner for years and years because there were other things I wanted to see first, but I finally said this year I'm gonna go. I'm gonna make the trip to Poland and I'm gonna go to Auschwitz and Birkenau, and I did just that. And now a big part of what I did was, while I was gone, I wrote about my experiences on Sioux Online.
Yes. You shared articles
Kind of
with us back
chronicling
home.
my experience, and that connected me with Jeff, who sent me a message while I was gone.
So you reached out to Riley because you read her stuff?
That's right.
I see. This is cool. I did not know that part of the story.
Yeah.
I wondered how I thought maybe Riley came home and connected with you, but no, you
that's
reached out
right.
to her.
Yeah.
So it was really cool because I think I mentioned this to you. Like when I left, it was a big commitment for me to be writing while I was traveling. But I said, if it leads to one meaningful connection at home, then it will have been worth it. Even if it's just someone saying, "Hey, I really liked your story. Keep sharing your travels." Awesome. But it led to so much more than that, because we started meeting and talking about my experiences. And specifically, I'll share one kind of thing that stood out to me at Auschwitz-Birkenau was...
Is this the bird singing part?
Yeah.
I love... Go, tell. This
So
is
Tim knows.
amazing. No, I know it. This is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, go.
So the most powerful moment for me was we were standing in Barrack 25. I went with my friend Chelsea Lundgren, who you know, and that was where they put all the women who were they were basically they were killing people quicker than they could keep up with incinerating their bodies. It's dark and sad, but it's true. So they were just kind of shoving them in these barracks to just hold them there until they could. This was the final stop.
Until they could incinerate more bodies to gas more people to then.
Exactly. It was a processing line. Yeah. So they were in there. So we walked through that barrack. Stone walls, cold. You know, beds lined up like really, really high.
Like 4 high.
Yeah.
And like you'd sleep multiple to a bed.
Multiple to a bed. So I kind of fell behind the group because I said, okay, you know, I'm a woman, I'm a feminist. Like if I was, this is where I would be if it was me, if I was here. And that stuck with me. So then I just kind of fell behind the group and I stood and I looked out the barred window and I tried to envision what they would have seen. You know, there's an SS lookout in the distance, barbed wire fence. I could see like, it was a beautiful day. It was sunny, hot. And I almost,
you said birds were singing,
like I almost
and
laughed.
you could hear people outside talking.
Exactly, and that was so distracting. And I stopped and I said, I can't picture what they went through. There's people talking and laughing and birds are singing and the sun is shining.
This isn't what I assumed a death camp would feel like.
Yeah, and I'm sweating and like it's hot out but then he kind of helped put into perspective for me, that's exactly what they would have experienced because it wasn't this black and white world that, you know, we see in a 1940s movie. It was real life, a world in color passing them by. And that was a moment that really stuck with me.
And you said you could have been a woman in there hearing SS guards laughing outside your cell.
Exactly.
And seeing life was going on outside those.
And like Krakow's not far from Auschwitz-Birkenau. Like it's like maybe an hour drive at the most. So the city was not far from where all of this happened.
So obviously this impacted Riley greatly, as it has, I'm sure, thousands, millions of visitors. So she comes home now. You reach out to her, and she comes back. And how has this connection continued on, Jeff?
Well, I was really taken by that perspective that Riley brought. That you know, we're familiar with the concentration camps in World War II from a lot of black and white movies, and the fact that Riley was commenting that this was a full color blue sky day, birds chirping, people laughing and telling jokes and having a cigarette outside, and in the meantime these women are being marched off to the gas chambers. That perspective caught my interest, and so I wrote to Riley and suggested that we meet. And as a member of the Jewish community, I was quite interested in getting the story out in a new way that would reach a new generation of people. And that's where kind of I saw Riley as a leader and with a story to tell that would connect with people who didn't grow up studying much about it in school and really don't watch movies about it. And certainly a generation removed from me, where my parents' generation went through that. But now it's another generation that needs to know this story.
That needs to know. And you know, I was thinking about this morning as I was getting ready for the interview, thinking I don't really recall spending very much time at all. I did not take honestly, I stopped taking history in grade 10.
Most people do.
Well, for me, I don't know. I would just say I wish I'd had a more engaging history teacher.
Yeah.
To tell me the stories, to make it like vivid for me. But having said that, I don't recall learning about genocide.
And I can actually speak a little bit to that because that's one of my key points that I'm trying to teach people with what I'm doing. So, and that's a really good point, Tim, because we learn about history when you take it mandatory in grade 10, you learn, which is, if you don't choose to take it beyond that, that is the only history you will ever learn.
And it was all like American.
Yes, so you learn World War I, World War II, the Holocaust and the Cold War as 4 separate events.
Right.
But in reality, you can't look at 4 of these events, massive events, as isolated incidents. We're on a trajectory and we're following a path. And here's the thing, we're still on that trajectory. So we can't look at it like that was horrible, but that would never happen again. And we can get into that after because it has happened again.
It is happening.
It is happening.
Riley just went and participated in the ceremony that you had at the synagogue.
Yes. Yeah.
In honor of the 13 who were, it was 11 who were killed in the synagogue and murdered.
And 4 more injured.
Right, and 4 more injured.
Yes.
This is ongoing. I mean, and we're seeing it everywhere. We're seeing it in Canada. We're hearing about people who are talking about, they're running online stores selling memorabilia that is, and posting anti-Semitic messages, and these people are working on the campaign for Canadian politicians. Like this guy, Adam Stashok, John Carpay, I mean, Baraboo High School, giving the Sig Heil. It's all coming out.
That's the next generation.
And we're realizing it isn't over.
No.
And World War II, I mean, it didn't just happen. Hitler didn't just happen like that.
That's
correct.
Yeah.
That's
This was
Riley's
a build-up, and this is your point.
My point is, actions start, policy. So we start, when we look at these big horrible things that happen, we look at policy, which led to the legalization of the Holocaust, right?
Yeah.
But policy comes from actions, which come from words, which start with one person.
And you're making a difference.
Yes, I hope so.
That's the idea.
And
That's
so,
the idea.
continue together. We don't even know, Riley was saying, I don't even know where this project is taking me, but it's going somewhere.
Yes.
And I want you guys to check back with us. And Tova perhaps will come and join us another time, your daughter Tova.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking this would make an amazing thing for the Fringe Festival. I think you could do an amazing presentation
There's
as part
a
of
lot
the
of
Fringe.
different...
There's a lot of cross potential for this. We have to go, otherwise we won't see Luann again.
Okay, fine.
Guys, thank you, so Riley. Thanks for
Thank
sharing
you.
this,
Thanks for
Jeff.
the time.
Again, always
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Come back again. We'll be back to say goodbye after this on Mornings with Luann and Tim. Don't go anywhere. Well, I guess I'm going out to buy tree wraps and snow blow.
I
And
think you are.
what are you
Yes.
doing for the rest of the day?
I'm going to go trudge through the snow to get home and have a nap. Have an awesome afternoon. Be very careful out there
Please
today.
drive safely. The snow is ridiculous. The driving is bad. The traffic is crazy. It's Sault Ste. Marie. We're not the best drivers in the best conditions. So really stay safe out there. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good day.